Welcome to the Blade, a mini open core trio base that takes inspiration from some of Alone in Tokyo's designs. It comes with new anti-door camp gatehouses, but this time with space for a vending machine, alongside 3 hidden roof bunkers within the shooting floor safe from MLRS. The bunker ramps come with brutalist type peaks, but without the need for DLC skins. This ramp area comes with a one-way retake to the shooting floor alongside some simple Retakes. 3 flank bedroom areas on each side come with a multitude of peaks, including retakes into the shooting floor, turret pod cover and grenade throwing areas. It also comes with a farm plot on each side which can be used as a 270-degree Retake peak area. These come with lock drop-off boxes on the outside of the compound. Most impressive of all, a sneaky open core peak from bedroom areas to retake the mini open core style living area. Pair these features with a simple yet effective roof covered by 3 turrets and an easy bunkerless starter, the Blade might be the base for you. I would like to apologise for the delay of this video. As you may be able to tell, I have been suffering with an illness the past few days, preventing me from being able to do the voiceover. Hopefully the wait was worth it. We start off the tour showing off this simple disconnectable TC. It can be disconnected and reconnected as shown. Over here we have a drop-off box that you can jump up and loot. This should be locked as anyone can loot this, but this serves as a great way to quickly depot while your team is in a fight so you can get back out there. In each of the external TCs there is space for an extra respawn point, and here is the upkeep of each external. There are 3 of them on this base. Coming round to one of the 3 entrances, we have space for a vending machine and our main entrance. Of course, this vending machine can be accessed on foot as well as drones. Windows allow you to look into the compound area. The compound is not accessible but only acts to prevent people laddering onto the base. This courtyard area is covered by many angles from above. This is an anti-door camp gatehouse, allowing you to peek into the outside of the base before you advance. The garage door allows you access to the vending machine. Coming round into one of the 3 flank bedroom areas, there is space for some extra deployables underneath this stone ramp. Here we find one of our 3 farm areas which can be used as a 270-degree Retake peak area. There is some storage boxes as well as access to the drop-off box to move it into the safety of your base. On the second floor we have space for one of our main respawn points, as well as some angles into the outside of the compound, as well as underneath our shooting floor. This is great for some decent long angles or fighting some low raid bases. As you can see, you can get some decent angles into any compound breaches, as well as retakes onto the shooting floor. A turret on each side covers through this wide gap in the shooting floor. This actually covers into your bedroom area if you leave this garage door open. You can use these horizontal embrasures to throw grenades through. And as you can see, you can simply jump up to get some decent angles below. And this is repeated on the other side as well. Jumping up here will give us access to our shooting floor and act as our mobility chute. I will show you that later. From here we will open our bunkers above, but first we will go into our starter core. We enter the starter core through a simple single door airlock, and then we have a very spacious area that you can optimize to however you like. This might not be the optimal setup, and you might want to change this loot room on the right hand side to maybe more open space for more deployables, but it's completely up to you. Here is the upkeep of the main TC. We now enter our mini open core on the second floor through the single door. There is also a one-way retake peak in case someone is coming from above. You can change this area however you like, but I recommend not putting shelves or loot rooms where the electric furnaces are. This is because it opens up the angles from these flank bedroom peaks. You will find one on each side, and you can quickly rotate between these open core peaks to clear your inner core. As you may have noticed, the open core is only 1 or 2 walls. This is because we want to bait raiders to core the base, and then you will have a range of angles to defend from. The third floor is quite simple and has one of your main respawn points. You can actually use these open core peaks in reverse to clear your flank bedroom area, which basically looks down onto each of your farm areas. We exit one of the entrances onto our shooting floor. As you can see, there are 2 turrets that cover through the wide gap and into the other flank bedrooms, as well as the compound below. These wall stacked gaps here allow us to get some decent angles down below, as well as some decent far angles as well, including retakes into the flank bedroom area once again. On each side you will find a chute onto the roof. This ramp here is our hidden bunker. We can open it from above by placing twig here. This will demolish the metal roof above. You will not be able to place a roof here unless you demolish this twig here. This ramp also comes with a brutalist type peak, but can work with any building block. This is done using ramps on either side facing the opposite direction. This means no DLCs are required for these peaks. It also comes with some decent Protrico peaks. You will also find a one-way retake onto the roof. As you can see, this is our inner core peak that you can rotate between each side to then quickly clear the core. I believe you can also throw grenades through this gap. Coming onto the roof, we have another Protrico peak that can actually be used to clear the other ramp areas above the bunkers. There is also a drop-off box area in case you have a mini. 3 turrets cover the roof through chain link. You can use these chain link areas to get some extra angles from the roof, as well as clear the other side of the compound. By jumping on these siren lights, we have some extra angles that we can use. By standing on one of the siren lights, you can get some decent angles against raid bases. There is space on top of the roof for 3 windmills on top of the turret pods. You can simply start off the build by putting down a 1x1 to claim your build spot with the TC in the right hand side. You then want to quickly expand by 1 triangle and then do your secondary loot room. Like I said in the tour, you can leave this open for more deployable space and maybe some living area. I would recommend at this stage that you leave it open just for some extra mobility until you expand the starter. You then want to expand like so. The entrance should be on the left hand side and create an airlock like this. Make sure you add a ladder hatch entrance here, this will be our jump up. At this stage you can add a shelf into your TC room like so. It should look like this. Now you can add an entrance airlock including the one-way retake. You can also add honeycomb to the one remaining side. Now we will complete the second floor. Make sure on the end of each square that you add a half wall and then a window frame. This will create our retake peaks. Then add your secondary loot rooms like so, making sure to add shelves and windows. This is what it should look like. You can add horizontal embrasures at this stage. This is the orientation they should be in. However, if you would like the extra security, you can put window glass here temporarily and then replace them later once you have the base complete. But for the sake of the build video, I will just place the horizontal embrasures. You do not want to add a single door or a double door frame on this entrance here. This is because later there will be a half wall and then a window frame on top. There is sadly no way of sealing this in early, so you must just leave it like this. You can place a wooden door frame here and then hatch it out later if you'd like the extra single door security. I will now upgrade all of the areas to their final level, including HQM. Feel free to do this at your own stage, but from now on I will be upgrading to the final level on every building block. Make sure you upgrade the 2 triangle foundations on each side to HQM to help prevent foundation wiping. You can optionally upgrade these triangle roofs to HQM if you have the spare materials. Now we will do our wall stacking and external TCs. Note that symmetry is on and you should be doing this build out with twig. You want to build out by 6 squares in total, then cap off with a triangle. Then come back with 2 half moons and then place another triangle. Go back by 2 squares and 1 more triangle and then come back with half moons. You should be left with something like this. You can of course destroy the twig square here and then place 1 more triangle to then place your final square. If you were to try and place a square here, it should have this gap like this. This means you placed it correctly. You can now go ahead and upgrade this square to HQM and then wrap around with triangles like so and upgrade these to metal. This is what it should look like on each of the sides. Of course these are decaying, so we'll now connect it to an external TC. You want to expand by 1 square, this is where our drop off area will be. You can then build out by 3 twig squares and then your final 3 triangles for your external TC. You want to then add a half wall, a floor and then a window. You then want to add a full floor on top, this will be for our barricade, and then add these windows here for extra stability. Make sure you add 2 half walls here on this side of the external TC to make sure the disconnect will work. Then simply connect using square frames. You can then add low walls everywhere else. Of course, repeat this on the other 2 sides if you haven't already. This is what it should look like. Now we will complete the flank bedroom area. You can add a permanent ramp here and upgrade it to stone. I am not 100% sure if the standard vanilla stone skin will allow you to jump past it. I am aware that metal will work if stone doesn't, but it is ideal if you upgrade it to brutalist or the shipping container skin. We will now complete our Petrico area. You can add this foundation here to help you access your drop-off box. You can just leave this wood. Then you want to expand on either side with a half wall and then a window frame on top and upgrade these to metal, including a single door here as well. You want to add the horizontal embrasures facing outwards. Make sure to add double door frames here and add garage doors. Now we will add our bedroom area by simply walling in this area and adding a double door frame. Now here you want to add a window on each side and then add a floor on top. You can add a full wall and then a half wall on top, or like I prefer, you want to put a half wall and then a full wall on top. Add a floor on the right hand side including a square above, but make sure that you have a gap in between this window here for your open core peaks. You do not want to connect it to the inner TC like so. You can then add a frame for your access to your shooting floor. We will now do our anti-door cam gatehouse area, including our vending machine area. Build out by 2 triangles on each side and then upgrade it to metal. I would then recommend adding a frame and single door frame and upgrading them to metal, as this will be supporting the shooting floor. It should look like this. You can leave it like this using 1 single door and garage door to seal it, but I'd quickly recommend upgrading this with an airlock and a vending machine to then seal it properly using barricades on top. You should add a window on either side and then single door frames like so. You can add 2 single doors while you're waiting to make a vending machine, or you can simply place it if you have one. Then you can complete the shooting floor by adding these triangles connected to the external TCs. It should create a gap in the middle like this. At this stage you can actually complete the compound by placing these barricades on top of the gatehouse and drop off box area and then adding the compound walls. Place the compound walls either side of the drop-off box area first. Note that you can use wooden or stone walls here. This is what it should look like. Now we will complete our 3rd floor. We will start off by completing the bunkers. Place a row of half walls and then windows on top. To make sure your bunker works, you can place twig first, then you can open it from below like so. This should open the bunker like so. If it does open, you can simply place the roof and then upgrade it to metal. On each side you want to build up by frames, then add a triangle frame for your Patrico peak, as well as the roof ramps to make your brutalist peak. It is key that you place these triangle ramps like so to create that conditional peak. As you can see, when I place the second one, this extra bit will disappear. You can simply wall in the rest of the shooting floor. You can opt to add windows if you would like, but I like the security of having full walls. Note that symmetry is still on, so you must repeat this on all 3 sides. Make sure to add an airlock here as well. You can then add a window frame like so, facing outwards. This will be our one-way retake to the roof. The horizontal embrasure should not be placed like this, as it will give raiders an extra angle from above. it is better to place it this way. On each side you want to add single door airlocks like so, and then flooring on top. Do not place the triangle floors like I did on all sides. I'm only showing the angle difference between this horizontal embrasure. You can add half walls on either side and then a floor on top. You want these floors to connect to the inner TC. However, before we do this, we must replace the floors with frames so we have roof access. By switching off symmetry, we can fix this. You want to add frames on each of the right hand sides so you can have roof access from the shooting port. This is what it should look like. On the sides without your jump up, you can place a double door frame and then place a half wall and window. On the side of your jump up, you will only be placing a window frame. You can place a wall here and upgrade it to metal. Here you will not be adding full walls, you want to add half walls and then a window frame on top. You then want to repeat this on the other two sides. We will now do our turret pods. You want to place a double door frame here and then a triangle floor on top. Then complete the rest like so. That is pretty much the base complete. Now we'll do some recommended deployables. And that is pretty much the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you did like what you see, please consider subscribing or joining the Discord community down in the description below. It is greatly appreciated.